Hello everyone, my name is Gopi and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to create an EC2 instance in AWS. To create an EC2 instance, we need some prerequisites. Those are we need an AWS account, we need a VPC. I will tell you what is VPC and security group, key pair, AMI. So AMI is called Amazon Mission Image and instance type, and we have to select the storage options. Before creating an EC2 instance, so let's know about what is an EC2 instance, why we need to use the EC2 instance, what are the use cases, and what are the different options available in the EC2 instance. So an EC2 instance is a virtual server that provides scalable computing capacity in the cloud, and it allows us to run our applications on virtual machines without need of physical hardware. That means we no need to buy any RAM, we no need to buy any CPU, we no need to buy anything physically. We just create everything virtually. So we just log into the AWS console and we can create our server. So we have multiple options to customize our server. I will show you what are the options available. So the key features of the EC2 instance is scalability. So scalability means we can increase or decrease the size of the EC2 instance, and customization is one more option. Customization means you can modify your instance, you can change the type, you can change the capacity of the instance, and OS flexibility is one more option. So OS means you can choose different type of operating systems like Windows, Linux. Uh, in the Linux also we have different types like Red Hat, CentOS, Ubuntu, and Amazon Mission Image. And one more option is pay as you go. So pay as you go means how much you used, then that much you have to pay. So you no need to pay any extra. For example, if you run the server for 2 hours, you need to pay only charges for 2 hours only. You no need to pay for full day, or you no need to pay for the entire year or month. How much time you used, that much you have to pay. That's one more option. And different instance types. So instance means it's a server. We call it with different names, but an EC2 instance we call it as a server, we call it as a VM, anything you can call. So there are different instance type like T2 micro, T3 large, C4 large, X large, 2X large. So these are the different type of instances. Depending upon our use, we can choose our instance type. So I will show you everything in this video. And what are the use cases of this instance? So that means, for example, if you're creating an instance, but why we are creating instance? What is the use of that? So to create an EC2 instance, we can host our websites or we can deploy our applications. In that purpose, we use our server and we can run the data analysis. We can do the data analytics. We can use that server. And for some machine learning models also, so you can use that server. And for development and testing, we can use it. So there are a lot of use cases. So we'll see one by one how we can use, how to create a server, how to modify it. So we will check one by one. Create an EC2 instance. We first log into our AWS console. So we just log into AWS console login and just open the AWS management console. Sign into the console and click on sign into the root user because we have username and password. We are not IAM users. So I will tell you what is IAM and rest of the things. So cloud life. Okay. Okay. And my password. So once we log into AWS Management Console, we can see the console home. there are a lot of options available on the console. So the first option is, when we see here, it is showing Europe. If you click on the drop down, you can see different places where United States, Asia Pacific, Canada, Europe. So all these we call it as regions. So region means it's a place. So if you want to create our server, we need to select the region. That means we are going to create a server in that particular region. So currently it is in Stockholm region, but I want to create my server in North Virginia. I need to just select the region. That's it. So I'm going to select London, Europe, Europe region. I'm going to select the London. So when we see here, then it's changed. My location is changed. So whenever you log into your AWS console, you just first need to look at in which region you are currently in. So you are currently in Europe, London region. Okay. And then click on search bar, click on EC2. So you can see the EC2 option. Just click on EC2. And if you see here in the dashboard options, you can see the multiple options like instance types, and launch templates, spot requests. So everything we'll see one by one. First, we'll create a server. So what are options are available? What are the options it is asking? We need to give the, um, that means we have to select what options we need to select and what options they are giving. We'll see one by one. So just click on instances and you can see what are instances currently running, and you have a filters, the instance state, actions, everything is there. So we'll see one by one. First, we'll just create a server. So to create a server, just click on launch instance, click here, and it is asking the name. You just give name to the server. I'm giving like demo hyphen EC2. And when we scroll down, you see here, see the OS image. Okay, the application and OS image. So which type of OS you want to select? We have different options: Amazon Linux, Mac OS, Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat, and SUSE Linux, and we have Debian. Different type of OS we have. So initially we'll go for Amazon Linux. So just select it. Or if you want to go for Ubuntu, just select the Ubuntu. So once you select the operating system, the Amazon machine image will change. What type of version it is. If you go for Amazon Linux, we can see the different options available here. If you click here, Amazon Linux 2023 AMI, Amazon Linux 2 with kernel 5.10, and Amazon Linux 2 with LTS, that means long-term support with SQL Server. So there are different options are available. Okay, I'm just going for Amazon Linux, and the Amazon Linux is 2023 AMI. It's a free tier eligible. Free tier means you no need to pay anything for this image. You just select it and you just create it. You can use it. You no need to pay anything how much you used. But there are some limitation is there, like you can use this server for 730 hours. 730 hours means you can use it for one full month. So you no need to pay bill for this server. And if you scroll down, so there is a description about the OS that we selected. The Amazon Linux 2023 is a modern general purpose Linux based OS. Comes with 5 years of long term support. So they'll give updates for 5 years. So they'll give the support for this one. And some more options is there: the architecture type, 64-bit, okay, and the AMI ID. So AMI ID means the Amazon Mission Image ID, and the username for our server. Okay, so the current Linux server username is EC2-user. It's a default username. And if you scroll down, so I told you there are different instance types. So if you scroll here, if you click here, you see there are different type of instance types. So what is an instance type? That means the options available. For example, if you see the T2 Nano means the family of the instance is T2 and it has one virtual CPU, 0.5 gigabytes memory. That means RAM, you will get 0.5. And if you go for T2 Micro, you will get one virtual CPU, 1 GB memory. And if you scroll down, you'll see different type of operating systems. T2 Large, the two virtual CPUs, 8 GB memory. And if you go for T2X Large, like that, there are different families, T family, C family, okay, and M family, R family. There are different types. So you can select your instance type based on the use, on which purpose you are going to use. If you're using just for a practice purpose, you can go for T2 Micro. It's a free eligible. You don't need to pay anything. If you're going for database installations, you can select different instance type. And if you're going for high memory utilization applications, go for different instance type family. But currently, I'm selecting T2 Micro. Okay, and you're getting the prices also, how much they will charge. But currently, for T2 Micro, you don't need to pay anything. Once you cross the limit, that 730 hours, once you crossed, then you need to pay amount. So we'll see. And if you scroll down, we have one more option is key pair login. So what is key pair? We'll see what is key pair means. For example, in our normal system, in our normal laptop, what we're doing, we are giving password. If we want to log into our laptop, we just give the password. Same like in the server, in the virtual server, we have two options are there. You can choose the password or you can choose the key pair. Here key pair means it's a key. It's a public private key authentication is there. It's like a lock and key mechanism in our homes. If you use we are using lock and key in our homes. Same like once you create a key pair here, you create a key pair, one file you need to download. You can download automatically. And another file will sit inside the system, inside the server that you created. Okay, so you need to give one name. So I'll give demo hyphen key. So key pair type is RSA. It's an encrypted, as I told you, it's a public private key. So you need to download the PEM key. What is PEM and what is PPK? I will show you, and just create a key pair. Once you click on that, so the PEM file will get downloaded. Okay, and the next option is network settings. So in the network settings, we have a default network. Okay, so and there is no preference like subnets. We no need to select any subnet. By default, it will choose a different default subnet because we are going for default options. We'll see later how to create a network, how to create a subnet, and how to modify it. We'll see one by one. And one more option is the security group. So what is a security group means? So the name itself indicates security to the server. So we are creating an EC2 instance. That instance need to be secured. No one should enter. No need to give the unauthorized access to the users. So we need to provide a security. For that purpose, we use security group. I will discuss detailed about what is security group, what is network in another video. But for now, just select the create a new security group. Just allow SSH traffic. Just select the default option. And if you scroll down, you see the configure storage. Storage means it's like a hard disk. It's like a how much storage you want to allocate to the server, the root volume of the server. If it is a Windows instance, by default we'll get a C drive with some storage like 256 gigabytes or 512 GB, 1 TB hard disk we're using. It's a hard disk. Okay, by default the Linux server is getting 8 GB. of the root volume, and the type of the volume is GP3. So general purpose SSD GP3, by default it is selecting. So just select it, and we have advanced details. So if you click down, see the domain join directory. So the rest of the things just select for default. We will discuss detailed options in the next video. For now, just focus on how we are creating an EC2 instance, the basic instance with the default options. Okay, and so everything is okay. Number of instances, we just need one instance with the default details that we have given. Okay, and click on launch instance. You see here, successfully initiated launch instance with an instance ID. In AWS, if you create any service, you will get an ID for that service. If you create an EC2 instance, you will get an ID. If you create a network, you will create a network ID. If you create a subnet, you will get a subnet ID. So everything, it's denoted with an ID. Okay, and you see the state is running and the status checks, these are initializing. If you click on the instance, you'll see the different options, the details of the instance, the public IP. So every server will get two IPs, one is public and one is private. Okay, and if you scroll down, so you'll get a DNS name on DNS IP, and the host type and the instance type. You see here it's a T2 micro, and see the default subnet ID and the instance URL and the AMI ID. This is operating system's ID. So the OS also has some ID. So that ID we got here. The AMI name and the platform details, which operating system we selected. Okay, so we selected the Linux instance, and what are the rest options? So the key pair, see that we created demo key. Okay, so these are the basic options, basic details available for the instance that we created. And next option is status and alarms. What is status? So whether the instance is created or is it failed, is there any other reasons? So it is checking status, like hardware and software checks it will do. So the hardware, like how many virtual CPUs we have, how much RAM we used, so everything is working perfect or not. It will check all the details, and after a while, if all the checks passed, you will get 2 by 2 checks passed. So what is 2 by 2 means? One is system check and one is instance status check. That means it is running or not. It will do two checks. If two checks passed, you will get 2 by 2 checks passed. That means our server is healthy. It's running perfectly. There is no issues with the server. Okay. We have seen how to create an EC2 instance. So once you created the instance, we saw all the available options, all the details about the EC2 instance, like about the server. And if you scroll right, so the remaining details it will show here, the launch time and the platform, everything we can see here also. And once you created the server, so if it is running, then how to delete the server. That means if you leave this server, you will get a bill. So unnecessarily you will get a bill. If you're not using the server, that means you no need to use the server. You can stop the server, you can delete it. So there are multiple options. If you click on instance state, you see stops instance, reboot instance, terminate instance, delete means terminate. So there are options available. Currently our server is running. If you want to stop, then you can stop. And one option is if you stop the instance also, you no need to pay anything. If it is running state, then only you need to pay the bill. If it is stopped, you no need to pay. So reboot means restart. It will restart all the services. It will restart the server. And so terminate instance means delete. This server won't exist if you delete the server. So there are three options available. So once you launch the server, once you did practice, or once you install the packages, you test it, you just delete it or you just stop it. Okay, so these are the options available in the instance. In the next video, I will show you what is a network, what is a security group, how to create a network, how to log into the server, and how to install packages, how to run applications. Everything I will show you in the next video. So for now, just practice the instance, how to create the instance, and what are the options available. See you in the next video.